This weather is so weird. It has been warm, it has been colder, it's been up and down, but the particular thing about the weather today is, it's not just today, but it's so moist. It is so damp. Everything's getting wet, even though it's, like now, it's -20. It's weird. It's like it's getting wet from the outside. It's not my sweat that's getting things wet. Weird, weird. And Holy Hills, this section from Pelly Crossing to Pelly Farm, I remembered it being hilly, and I thought, I like hills. And I thought it would be easier this year because I'm not sleep deprived and everything. I'm fresh. Wholly challenging Batman. Back to it. Shoot. So, here's the thing. The Pelly Farm is over there. The Ultra goes that way. The actual Quest trail, because the Ultra uses Pelly Farm as a checkpoint, the Quest uses a place called Stepping Stone at the junction of the Pelly and the Yukon rivers, which is that way. That way has 4-6 inches of snow. No one's been on it. If I do that, I got a bush bash. I got a snow bash.
It had to be done. I'm a purist after all. Slow snowshoe slogging ensued for a couple hours on the Pelly River, but the reward was worth it.
I'm in this very amazingly cool place called Stepping Stone at the junction of the Pelly River and Yukon River. And I'm about to head north now. This is a dogleg section. And I just thought it's a good time to do some chores. I am making another 2 liters of boiled snow. And while I'm at it, I thought I would have a hot meal as well because I'm boiling snow. Haven't seen overflow in a while. I can actually hear water running. I think I better put the boots on. This is a little game I play every night called See How Long I Can Walk with the Force and intuit the trail before I have to turn my headlamp on so it lasts. Can you see me? There. Can you see me now? I spotted this little trail going off to the side, came in, and found a trapper's cabin. But I am going to re-energize tonight. So, trapper, whoever you are, thank you. I will leave it better than I found it. Welcome to day 26 of Bernadette's Whinge Fest. Out in the beautiful outdoors where there's so many ways to whinge. I had this great cabin last night. Oh, I was so grateful for that cabin. But yeah, there's like this crazy Chinook wind thing now. So it was so windy last night, that kept me awake. And then, I'll just go to sleep for a minute there. Big gap. The bed is just like a wooden bunk thing that's been nailed together. So I put my mattress on it, but it was lopsided. It was at an angle, so it had a lean to one side. So with the mattress on it as well, I really wanted to roll off the bed. And I was so tired from the night before, poor sleep. You know, I should have just gotten up and put a wedge underneath the bed and made it level. But instead I just kept rolling off the bed all night. Oh dear. And I've got that nausea this morning. I don't know, it's too much granola maybe. But granola in the evening, granola in the morning is quite often with a standard now. Just dry. And I really like the oatmeal, goes down really well. But you have to boil snow, it takes so long. And all my water now tastes like hydrocarbons. And I boiled up just 500 mils last night on the stove. And it tastes like pine, and it's sort of a yellowy color because of all the wind. Everything's scattered about on the snow now. So I guess the pine is probably like antiseptic or something. I've got that 400 mils left, and then it's back to hydrocarbon water.
Tigger, on the other hand, is unflappable. He's in a good mood all the time.
I just only wish it wasn't so warm yesterday, because my shoes and my socks are soaked all day and wet feet again. Isn't that pretty? I think I'm still along Walhalla Creek on the way to Scroggie, Stewart River, and I'm walking with poles in one hand and Delorme and Power Monkey in the other hand. Delorme's been failing for the last 3 days. The charging port has refused to take. No matter whether it was hooked up, I had 2 different cables. I had to the Power Monkey or to the solar film. It was definitely the charging port, it wasn't a cable. And I wasn't going to have enough charge on the Delorme to get me to Dawson. And I smashed it around a bit today. And now I'm afraid to let it go until I get 100% on here. So I'm keeping it close, and I'm keeping a watch on it while it's charging. Because if I can get to 100%, then that'll take me to Dawson.
I came into Scroggie 3.5 days after leaving Pelly Crossing. This quest checkpoint is halfway between Pelly and Dawson. It's just 2 public use cabins. I had the little one. As usual, I used the completed pages of my Klondike book for fire starter. Makes the book lighter as I go. Then I engraved my name on the shelf next to a mix of visitors as far back as 1995, Canadian Rangers and a videographer included.
I've just come into the Black Hills, an old mining district. I don't know that anything is still mined, but you can see the evidence. And there are a few buildings there. They would have been summer only. As I get closer, I might see if it looks like anything's actually happening here still in the summer. It's a glorious day. I'm not afraid to go out.
I descended the ridge in the morning and arrived at the Granville Forks Junction, an old gold rush town site. It was time to replace that snowmobile hydrocarbon water. I'd spent much of the day before eating snow to avoid it. The ditch water turned out to be a mixed bag. One thermos was good, the other tasted like dirt.
I stopped to do my water, make my water, and do some charging. And it was like amazing blue sky like this. So it was perfect for solar charging. And then that mass of clouds came over the sun like the moment I set everything up, I swear. But I have hoisted it now, the panel, so that it's facing a little more directly, and it's helping, but boy, those clouds make a difference. Oh well, overall, the day's a win. Climbing this big hill to King Solomon Dome, and I had to pause for breath and looked back. Wow. Oh, look at all those white mountains. I love white mountains. And back there is the communication tower. Alright, I'm going this way. Sure has warmed up here. King Solomon Dome. It's right behind me. There he is. And I'm headed down now. I've come 700 kilometers. On the way up this morning, I thought life should be like a story in which you don't know the plot, and you just when you think you've got it figured out, there's another twist or turn, and it just keeps you hanging on to see what's going to happen next. It should still have a good ending, though. You just don't know what it'll be. Wow. I came here all by myself. I came here all by myself. 30 days from when I started. I got here my way safely. I learned a lot. I have learned a lot about inflexibility and intolerance and accepting what is and cold fingers. Let's stop touching this camera now.
I couldn't believe when I looked down at the summit and saw gold and silver. Pocketed them with my dog booty collection to take down to Dawson City. What a funny find. The ghost town of Grand Forks, at the junction of Bonanza and El Dorado Creeks. It was the site that started the Klondike Gold Rush in 1896. 10,000 people lived around here within a few years. As the temperature drops to -30 again that night, I push on late to reach the outskirts of Dawson City. Self-check-in. They even have a room friendly for pulks and tiggers.
Come off of the river into Dawson, and that's my first sight. This is Dawson City. I think it might be the coolest city in the whole world. It's so quaint and quiet. And Dawson City is right up there. I came in from Bonanza Creek, which flowed in this direction, into town, and the Quest route continues that way towards Eagle, well, towards 40 Mile, and then Eagle, Alaska. I hiked into town this morning with Pulky, so I was on the east edge of town, and I didn't want to come onto the river section in the dark. I was quite worn out, and my phone was misbehaving because it was so cold, which helps me with the navigation with my DeLorme. And I'd heard there was a reroute somewhere on the Klondike River because it was unsafe ice, and so I didn't know exactly where that was, so I stayed at that motel. Then I did the 3 or 4 kilometers into town proper this morning, and had a lovely salad for lunch. Real food that did not come in a package, which was awesome. I have no idea what I'm doing next. I don't know if I'm going to go on any further or not, because I do only have so many days left. And so I'm just rejuvenating. My shins are quite sore. Well, yeah, it's the tendons on either side. There's been a lot of hills, a lot of ups and downs in this last week. And I was doing big mileage the last 3 days, 12, 13 hours a day, very steady, 55, 60 kilometers with the Pulk. And yeah, so my shins could use a day or two, and definitely some self-massage is in order. It's tricky going on from here, in that as I head towards Alaska, there are no more communities per se. There's a house or two, a cabin or two, or something, you know, in 100 miles. And so I would be relying on getting there, finding somebody who can snowmobile me back to Dawson or something like that. It's not possible without changing my flights and everything to get all the way to Fairbanks now. So this has really become a journey of I don't know. And we'll see what happens next.